Hello guys, can you see me? Alright, this is actually a very simple demo on how I made these boxes. I didn't go in I'm not going to go into lengthy details, just to give you an idea how it works. So what I did was, all these boxes for kids toys or even the craft art boxes and all that, especially the thin ones, I don't throw them away. So what I have done recently is I like to use glitter foams for my crafting. So what I did was I kept all these bits and pieces which you can't really use much. Like if you notice this is a cut, once you cut all these Christmas die cuts and all that, these are the leftovers. So what I actually did with all these boxes, each one of them, I actually had a lot of this. I just took them, arranged them, and kind of stuff them into the box. Okay, the reason why I'm using glitter foam, because it's light and it doesn't add weight to the to your boxes. If you can use scrap papers, but scrap papers are much more heavy. This way the boxes are much more sturdy, and if you actually press it, it doesn't go in. You see, I'm actually pressing it really hard and it comes back. That's because of the glitter foams. Then what I did was I taped it, and instead of using normal paper, but if you want to use a normal paper or cardstock or whatever, it's up to you. But what I did over here is, if you notice, you see all these stain marks. These are actual papers I used for the table. So I use this kind of over here we call it mahjong papers, but I don't really know what they are called. So these are pretty thick. So what I did was I wrapped them a few times with this paper. Of course the colors won't be as nice as what you're seeing right now. Once I wrapped, of course I used a simple glue, like those white glue. I just used that, and I kind of soaked the glue with the paper and all that and wrapped it up, so that way the paper doesn't it kind of glues together with the cardboard pieces and it doesn't come off easily. Alright, so what I did after that is, the rest of it is a bit more work. So I had this bunch of homemade alcohol inks, which I actually made from an old markers, and I had them for some time. Right now I wanted to use them up, and this was a very good chance I had. So if you notice, some of it had some marks and all that. That's because I wrapped the string before I poured the alcohol ink or sprayed the alcohol ink, and it gave me lots of this kind of different hues. Since I'm into mixed media, so I also did a little bit of stamping. If you notice all this, let me bring it closer. Can you see them? Okay, see, I made a lot of things. You can also give additional textures. In some cases I didn't change the colors much. Like this is the back, I don't really care because I'm going to stick it on something. If you want to do the whole entire box, it's up to you. Like for me, I'm just looking at the front and the sides, so I make sure that the sides I stamped them with lots of different things. Okay, if you notice here, just give me a moment, let me grab the rest. There are some circle stamps, and this was a silver ink. I'm okay with that. I don't really care what are the colors that get stuck on this. If you look at this, I like this. This is my favorite because the colors were really blended well. And if you notice that I used number stamps just besides the wording, and this is a bit more colorful. I used different types of stamps, like a figurine, some gears, some gears and all that, and even this as well. So some of these boxes are in different sizes. Some are thin, some are really thick, but I like them because it gives different textures. So you can use them as it is and paste it on a piece of card, or you can use it on your mixed media projects. This will be a very good embellishments, and I kind of like got this idea. I don't like to discard anything, so I kind of used all my discarded items and created something good. So just give me a moment, I'll show you the things that I have over here before that. So this is just a few of them that's waiting for me to design. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can get creative. You can use different kind of stamps. I'm just too lazy to use too many different stamps. All right, so this is the first one I did. So what I did was I used some images from a magazine, then die cuts. I didn't die cut specific, it's like it was in my stash and I used it, and some sentiments, and wooden butterfly for this, a little bit shine. In fact, I think I used Nuo mousse for this, that's why it's a little bit shiny, and I made sure that the sides are covered as well. Okay, like here, I used Tibetan charm pendant, I'm sorry, Tibetan charm pendant, and Rosie's clear stickers, all right, and Rosie's stickers as well. This is sentiment from Rosie. This one here is a stamp that I mean, I colored this. I didn't use anything like a fancy. It's just gel pen. There are some gel pens I got from the students' bookshop. I just, because I'm very bad at coloring, so what I did was I just took this gel pens and it's clearer now. So I just took these gel pens and started coloring, and it kind of turned out okay. So I added a little bit of embellishments here and there, and added a sentiment. Again, if you notice, the background is again the same fence die cut, and I just laid it on top. I could probably have aged the mushroom. I think I forgot to age them before I stuck on it, so that's the reason why the smile sentiment, I made sure that I kind of coordinated it. The next one is this one got a bit more fancy. I found this for wall art in a local shop over here. It kind of like, it gives the 3D effect, and it looked pretty cool, and this piece was the smallest that I had and fitted perfectly on this box. So I'll just play around with whatever you have. You don't have to buy something specific from the shop. The whole entire idea is to use as much as stash as possible. Like for example, this is 100% from my stash, or the Tibetan charm pendants. I buy them for my Mixedmedia and my frames and all that, because I had a few orders that uses the charm pendants, and I love charm pendants, and I kind of collect different shapes, sizes, different characters and all that. So this is one of my favorite. And the power of thinking, it's an owl. So it goes without saying. Sorry, my voice is getting bad because I'm having a flu, so let me see whether I can clear my throat a bit. So this one here is 100% from my stash. The string is actually a discarded string. These are the leftover leaves that I had. The flowers are made from wooden but it's not buttons, but wooden pieces, and I just stacked them up to give them the layers. And if you notice, I used a little bit of glitter in here, and a sentiment. Most of them I had to use gel mediums because some of the pieces are heavy, but the softer ones I just, for the paper and all that, I can use glue. The next one is the same thing. I used glitter. I'm very bad at coloring, so this is again a glitter pen. It's not even a gel pen, it's more like a glitter pen. So the whole entire thing is painted with glitter pen. And I kind of, I saw this sentiment from Teen Quotes. I can't remember which sticker book was that. And I kind of liked it. And, I just used a little bit of the tiny strings, attached them to the back to give a little bit of texture, and pasted it on top. All right. The last, this one. Okay, this one is my favorite because both the sentiment and the Lighthouse is from Rosie's Studio collection. What I actually did is I added glitter. It's blue underneath, it's glitter. These are cheap glitters. It's not fancy glitters or anything. These are from the school and those shops that sell craft items for school. Over here in Malaysia, we have lots of those, and it's a bit cheaper than buying actual craft items from the nice shops that we have. So if you notice, I made sure that it goes all the way, because in case if I want to have a 3-dimension, at least it shows. Otherwise, it will just cut off here. All right. So it's just a little bit. Probably I'll add a little bit here and there. I don't know what I'm going to add, but I really love this, the wordings especially. The last one that I did was this. In fact, this is the first piece I think I did. And this is actually a doily die cut, and what I did was I just used the middle part of it and it fitted perfectly well. This is a die cut, it was from a stash, and this was one of the test pieces which I tried to, for background stamping. I'm not good with stamping and using markers and all that, so I just test out whatever I can. So instead of throwing them away, it kind of fitted in here, and again I added the ribbon charm. I just broke the, you always have the loop here, so I just broke those pieces out to make it more like, so that it doesn't look like a charm banded, more like a fish. I did a starfish here. And the sticker sentiment is from Lucy Studio again. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys like this video. Please give me your feedback. This is actually my first video I'm doing on crafting, and I really hope you like what I've done here, and do try it out and let me know how, once you've tried out, upload it, tag me. My Instagram is sugarshancraft. You can look for me on Instagram. I will update my data in the video, so do let me know your artwork so I can see. Thank you guys, thank you for spending your time here. Bye bye.